Welcome to Radio Fixer's channel. Subscribe for upcoming videos. This radio was donated to me, built in Inglewood, California from 1950s to 1970s in both tube and solid state variant. This particular unit was built in 1970s and it is a solid state. The radio is fairly heavy and built from wood and brass metal in the shape of colonial lantern. It stands roughly about 23 inches tall and about 10 inches wide. I highly suggest going back and watch the first episode to this restoration where we discussed, step by step how to take this radio apart. Somewhere in the bottom there's a subscription button. Go ahead and select that, and also there's a bell. Select that bell so it notifies you whenever I upload new video. Put your thumb up. What this does, it notifies other people they enjoy this hobby. Help me, my subscription goes up, man. Make me look good. All right? I appreciate you. In this episode, I will try to restore this cabinet and then also fabricate that missing legs or a stand for this radio. I will add all the product that I'm using in the comment section of this video. Enjoy the video. Everything needs to be cleaned very well before you glue them together. Because if you glue it now, believe me, it's not a good idea. Clean everything before gluing things back. This one is a 3-piece, really 4-piece, because this one also, you see the crack here? I need to fix that as well. So it seems like there was a 1-piece here, one here, one here, and one here. So there was like a 4-piece they put together. As you see, it's broke off. Need to glue them back together. I'm going to use this Gorilla Glue. Glue 2 pieces at a time. I'm going to glue this side first, let it dry, then I'm going to work in this one. I'm not going to glue all at the same time because it's much simpler to do that. Let's do this 2 part first, then we put this together, everything together. So let me get it started. Just using brush, of course, brush to glue. Already did this side. Not too thin and not too thick. Just enough to cover all the wood. And the wood, it will soak some of the glue in. So I'm going to put some on like that. Wait a few minutes and then go over it one more time. You see here is already start absorbing it. So you go over it one more time. I want to just make sure I have enough glue so it can hold together much better. Alright. You always can put plastic here. When you glue this together, it doesn't stick to the cardboard. I'm going to line this up. I'm going to put a clamp on this. Make sure this is leveled correctly. I'm lining them up. Because these angles is so hard to put the clamps on. You cannot tighten them very good because of the angle. They're not. This side is straight, but this side is not. Again, I want to make sure the side is level, the top is level. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm going to let it dry. So tomorrow I will check on this. Let it dry. Alright, this is 24 hours later. So let's take these clamps out. As a matter of fact, this, as you remember, it was not glued pretty well. This one I shared with you, this was 4-piece. So as soon as I bend it, they fall apart. Now I have 4-piece to glue. So the first 2 is done. So I want to release this, all this. I like this new one. Those are pretty old one I have. Let's see if it glued okay or not. But as you see what I did, I covered that with the saran wrap. The reason I did that, so when I glue it, the glue doesn't get to the cardboard. Hopefully that makes sense. Alright, This is glued fine. It just needs some cleaning here. Now I'm going to glue the third part. I'm doing one part at a time. Then the fourth piece. Use the same process for all of them. Again, what I'm doing, I'm rubbing my finger back and forth, make sure there's not that much gap and it all leveled. Of course, this wood, it was bended. I assume this was in some type of storage or somewhere that had humidity. That's why humidity wrapped the wood a little bit. And that's why the glue started coming apart. Usually if you keep these radios with the wooden radio really in somewhere that is a high humidity or moisture, that's what happened with the wood. But you can glue it back together. Alright, now I'm going to let this set and dry until tomorrow. Then we're going to glue the last piece. And this is the bottom, of course, of the chassis. So that's the way it was fall apart. So I have to glue this back together like this. In order to do that, I have to remove this antenna from the bottom. So when I glue it, this should be level. So I'm going to remove this and glue this and then clamp it together. Let it sit at least for 24 hours to dry. This was the bottom piece and this is the top piece. So both, as you see, is glued together. Now I have to sand both of them, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this. Am I going to stain it or do a different thing? So I think after I clean it, I'm going to make that decision. Take all the stain out. Those two pieces I'm going to glue and a screw so it can hold much better. So this is because it's a bottom piece when you pick it off from the top, so this doesn't come off. That's why this came off. Because when you pick it up, all the weight are here. I love to work with woods. It's more rewarding, I guess, than bakelite. Even I enjoy working on bakelite, but still I love wood. Wood radio, they're so unique. So I'm using the 100 sandpaper, sanding this. Then I'm going to go over it with 220. Try to clean it as much as I can. Alright, so it's coming along. This is almost done both sides, as you see. Now I'm going to work on that one. Then I need to work on all these 4 of them here. Sometimes even you glue it, I put a clamp, you have like a crack here between the both woods. So what you do, you get a toothpick like this. So you see I add glue here, okay? So I'm going to put it here in the dust. These are when I was sanding, this was the wood dust. Then I actually rub it here and fill up the holes. Okay, with one hand it's pretty hard to do, but that is how I fill it up. I keep it in here, make sure it goes in the hole. I already did the other side. So that is how I fill up the holes like this, or the crack. Really, these are the cracks. See that? That's I need to fill up that crack. So that's the process I take to do this. Alright, I use this product here. This is the product. I'm going to add the link, of course, so you know what product I used. So what you do, you just spray this, just a couple of light coat. Don't make it too much. See, it comes up just perfect. That's the type of result you're looking for. Alright, I put a clear coat over it. Of course, I did not stain the wood. As you saw, I just sanded, cleaned it, then put coat over it. I didn't want to stain it. This is actually, it's like a natural color of the wood. And some of the old stain, when you clean it, with paint thinner, as I shared earlier, it will leave some of the old stain on the wood. And that's what I wanted. I didn't want to stain it pretty dark. I want to be a little different than my other unit I have. So these two, I already put the screws in here, put a hole in the screws. I did the same thing here. The problem with this was they stapled them, as you saw right here, they stapled them to the wood. Of course, those staples, they rust out and they fall apart from the other one. So I already made the mark. As you see, I already put a hole through both wood. Now this is going to be installed like here, like this one. So let's work on that. Then I have to make other parts. One part is missing. I have to actually make that is the stand, part of the stand. Let's clean these two parts. I washed them pretty well, but they don't look that great. Let's see if I can polish this. What I'm going to use this for brass polish. Again, I'm going to put the link in the bottom so you can purchase it if you choose to. I add some of this to the toothbrush. I start rubbing it pretty gentle, because if you do fast, it's going to get everywhere. I put my hand here, you know, brush it like that. Of course, after that, I use a clean paper towel. Just want to show you this, but I will take this out and clean it outside. See how nice it is now? Again, the purpose I did this inside the house so I can show you what you need to do. I guess it's going to look great by the time I finish with this. Alright, let me take this outside, finish it, and get back with you. I use the same brass cleaner, polish other parts as well. Then of course you wash it very well with soap and water. Then I use paint thinner, you know, went all over all the brass. And then I spray it with a clear coat so it doesn't oxidate again. And this is the end result, of course. I need to create a couple of this. These are the legs for that radio that I'm working on. See, I have 3 of them. One of them, of course, is all bended like that. And one is totally missing. This one, the screw came off. Let me show you. And I assume they soldered that in here, since the other one looks like it all been soldered as well. So somehow I need to create a couple of this, maybe 1 or 2. So first what I'm going to do, I'm going to polish this so I'll be able to make a mold from this, then actually use the resin to create something like this. This is the product I used. And one thing, definitely you need to wear gloves to do this job. All the 3 pieces are cleaned. Look how much dirt came out of it, you know. I need to start creating another one. It's pretty shiny. Looks pretty good. Right, I add JB Wells 6 minutes, you know, epoxy. As I mentioned earlier, I will add all the product that I'm using in the comment section of this video. So now I want to mix them. You have 6 minutes to work with this. You want to make sure you mix it pretty well. And this is a great product. I'm using it for many things. And it holds pretty well. I really prefer this one than the new one they have. The new one is clear, but I'm more happy with this one. So after you mix that, I'm going to fill these things up. Let's work on this one. As you see, I fill this up with epoxy. Now I can insert this inside all the way down. Make sure it's in the center. Now I'm going to let it dry. See what I did to install the screws, right? I'm in process of making one of this. I already put it here. And I'm going to make some mold and pour it here. Let it dry for a while. Then actually want to make the part. I suggest to watch this video. In this video I explain in detail and the process, what product to use, how to use it to get the excellent result. So I suggest pretty highly, if you are interested to create missing part for anything, can be radio, can be TV, or anything else, you can actually create that yourself. I don't want to go through a lot of detail in this video just to save time in this video. Follow that process, is a detailed process which will show you how to do this. Alright, this is 24 hours later. Let's take it out of the mold. Alright, looking good. So let's just push this out. Alright, this is out. Now I'm gonna add resin together, of course color the resin, and then pour it here. Alright, I add this resin together. Also I put some dye to get the color I'm looking for. Of course, you have to mix them pretty well. Again, watch that video, it will really help you. Now I'm going to pour it inside here. Let me show you what I did here. See how I put the screw in? Because I don't want the screw go all the way in. In recycling bin, I find some clear plastic. I put the screw in here like this. Alright. Now when I put this, I can control it how deep it goes. Let me show you. See that? I can control it this way. So I'm going to put the resin, then I put this in like that. Then I can control it how deep it goes and if it's centered or not. Alright, let's do it. I made much more than what I need. So we're going to pour here. Now I'm going to put this right in the top. Make sure it's in the center. See that? Now I'm going to let it sit here to dry. Alright, let's take it out of the mold and let it sit for a couple of days to make sure it's totally dry. So we just put it like this. Okay, it came out. Of course, I'm going to take this out too, this clear plastic. Just twist it so it comes out. Alright. Of course, I can paint this to match the others. Alright, this is painted. Now I'm going to install it. You see what I did, right? See, I set it like that. The color are pretty close. All of them are installed. So we're done with this. Let's move on to the next project. Alright, let's stop here since I don't want this video to be too long. In next episode, I'm going to work on the chassis, trying to fix that, and we put everything back together hopefully soon. So stay tuned. At this time, I want to take the opportunity and thank my subscribers with their uplifting comment. You always encourage me to upload more videos, since this is just a hobby of mine. Again, I appreciate you. Enjoy all these videos, and you all have an awesome day. Take care. If you're interested to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and you will be notified when a new video being uploaded. You have a great day.